Okay, folks, it's time to get started. Let's call the meeting to order. Need the approval of the minutes of, first, before we get started, we have a lot of folks in the room with us, some regular, some new. So I just want to go around the room and have everybody introduce themselves before we get started in the meeting. So I'm going to start to my left. And we have our new Tennessee Municipal League Executive Director. I'll let him introduce himself.
All right. I'm Anthony Hayes, Tennessee Municipal League. Nice to meet you.
And Margaret and Harry, TML.
Wade Morrell with the Tennessee Municipal Bond Fund.
I'm Haley Gallick with Public Energy Partners. Hey, I'm Addison Russell with Ramsey Fair.
Matt Russell with Ramsey Fair Banks.
Jim Morrison, Claims.
Ross Smith, Ramsey Fair Banks.
Celeste Taylor, Human Resources, Public Energy Partners.
Anthony Panessa, Public Energy Partners.
Kelly Westerfield, Public Entity Partners.
George Dalton, Public Entity Partners.
Russ Farrar with Fair and Bates Law Firm and with Ramsey Fair and Bates Governmental Relations.
Victor Lay, City Administrator, Spring Hill.
Lois Priest, Mayor of Nyota.
Todd Smith, City Administrator in Greenville.
Sam Tharp, City Commissioner, Paris, Tennessee.
Mark Blackburn with LBMC.
Jennifer Costello with LBMC.
Amanda Sherman, Public Entity Partners.
Krista Martin, Vice Mayor, Columbia, Tennessee.
John Olin, Mayor of Dyersburg, Tennessee.
Michael Fan, Public Entity Partners.
And with us on Zoom, we have
Mayor Randy Brundage, City of Martin.
and I'm Curtis Hayes, Mayor of Livingston, Chairman of Public Entity Partners. Welcome, everyone. All right, item number one is approval of minutes on board meeting September 17th, 2020. Motion made by Victor Lay. Is there a second? Second, is that Todd Smith? Okay, Sam Tharp, sorry. Second by Sam Tharp. Any discussion? All for the motion, let it know by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, like sign, motion passed. Audit report, item number two is the audit report. Mr. Mark Blackburn, Ms. Jennifer Costello. Take it away.
Well, good morning. Thank you again for having us this morning. We're going to start with our client service communication package that you all should have copies of. These are the items we are required to communicate as the auditors of Public Entity Partners. We'll start on page 4, which is the overview of the audit and responsibilities.
It should be a separate packet, or maybe at the very end of your packet, where I think would maybe go on in reverse.
It's actually, I believe,
Oh, do they not have a copy of the?
Okay,
That's just the financials there.
our apologies, we apparently do not
Okay, so where are
get
we
that
at?
out, but we have a separate required communication packet that should have been included with the financials. Apparently we did not.
Okay, well, we can come back to you. Have you got an email that you can send here and we can print it
I'll
off?
go get it and send it. Yeah, I'll go get it.
Okay, sorry about that.
That's okay. Would you like for me to go on, or do you want to kind of talk about?
Yeah, that'd be fine.
Yeah,
If
go
you
ahead and
can
continue.
come back to
Come
us.
back.
Okay.
Sure.
So we'll go to the item number 3 is the adoption of strategic plan. Mr. Michael Fan.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Under tab 3, you'll find the summary that came out of our work session and retreat that we visited back in October. And as we talked then, once that was finalized, we would present that to you for formal adoption. And so under tab 3, you will see our vision statement that we've been working on. You'll see the mission statement. The next page lists the 5 values that we have worked through and cultivated. And then beyond that, where we spend most of our time, and that was on our 5 priorities and strategic directives. So if there are any questions or further discussion, me or any of our leadership team be happy to address that, but it's exactly what we looked at before. And so, Mr. Chairman, I'll give it back to you.
Yeah, I just want to say, for the ones that was unable to make it during this strategic plan, it was a very, very great experience. I think we accomplished our goal and everything that we was wanting to do. I think that our leadership team, it just confirmed that we have the right people in charge here at Franklin County Department. And it also was a very heartwarming, very heartfelt strategic plan. I think that being a former football coach, you always want to see a team cohesively working together, and I think that's what we got here. And I think it kind of put the staple in it when we had that strategic plan. So great job by the moderator, and just a excellent jobs. If anybody else has anything they can, I'll take the motion to accept the strategic plan.
Second.
Motion made by, who made that? Priest. Okay, Mayor Lois Priest, second by Todd Smith. Any discussion? Roll call vote, Ms. Haley.
Commissioner Tharp,
Yes.
Todd Smith,
Yes.
Mayor Priest,
Yes.
Dr. Martin,
Yes.
Victor Lay,
Yes.
Mayor Holden,
Yes.
Vice Chair Brundage,
Yes.
Chairman Hayes.
Yes. All right, motion passed.
Chairman Hayes, now that that's passed, I would like to compliment this organization for identifying with a plan strategically, and to where all the members are aware of where we are and where we're going. This plan, I enjoyed the workshop that we had. It was very inspiring, and I just wanted to share that and put that in the minutes, because it touched, I think, not only the employees, but the board members. And now it's going to touch every member of PDP. So I just wanted to make that comment. Thank you for your leadership, Mayor Hayes. Michael, thank you for your direction, and thank this board for your presence and the employees for all the things that you all are doing to serve the state and the cities in Tennessee.
Thank you, Sam. Thank you very much. Okay, item number 4, financial reports.
Amanda has stepped down.
Yeah.
Handle the others. So
Okay, let's go to, we're going to skip that. We'll go back to that. All right, item number 5 is Ms. Celeste Taylor here. All right, human resources status report.
Since assuming the HR role, I hit the ground running, starting with the strategic board retreat and meeting with various directors to assess with their immediate needs. We are in the process of finalizing health insurance for the 2021 year. We have had insurance meetings via Zoom with the staff, and the response has been tremendous. We have backfilled 2 receptionists and information admin positions. One position was vacated due to an employee relocating, and the other employee was promoted within our company. We are currently accepting resumes for an East Tennessee loss control consultant, and that's due to the retirement of one of our most respected and beloved employees, Judy Houston. We're consistently using an interview panel for filling these positions, and it is working extremely well. And just one final note, a huge part of my job is to keep my finger on the pulse of our organization, and based solely on the steady stream of staff feedback, it is the strongest and most positive I have experienced in my 8 years of employment with public entity partners. I'm happy to report that our staff continues to be excited and encouraged for public entity partners' bright future. Thank you.
Job well done. Job well done. All right, any questions for Ms. Taylor? Okay, we'll move on to the next one. Item number 6 is reappointment of board members, Mr. Randy Brundridge and Mr. Victor Lay. And I've talked to them, and they do want to serve again, so I'll entertain a motion to re-enroll Mr. Lay and Mr. Brundage.
So moved.
Motion made by John Holden, second, Dr. Krista Martin. Any discussion? We'll do a roll call vote. It's going to be a close vote. Call the roll, Ms. Taylor.
Commissioner Clark,
Aye.
Todd Smith.
Yes.
Mayor Reese,
Yes.
Dr. Martin,
Uh-huh.
Victor Lay,
Abstain.
Mayor Holden,
Yes.
Vice Chair Brundage,
yes,
Chairman Hayes.
Yes. All right, congratulations on a tight vote there. But, we look forward to the reappointment and continue to work with you guys. We've had a tough 12, 14 months, and you guys have certainly been a part of the team, and I'm glad that it's going to stay put. Congratulations.
Thank you for the comments.
All right, are we ready, Mr. Blackburn?
We are.
All right, let's go back to item number 2, is the audit report, Mr. Mark Blackburn.
I'm gonna hand out, we've got several copies here, we've got enough for the board members, so I'll get those out, and then if anybody else would like a copy, we'll get those out to you by email. So.
And a copy of that is being emailed to Mayor Brundage right now.
Yes.
Okay.
I think that's all the board, and I've got a few extra copies of these, I don't know right this minute. Anyone else right now?
Okay.
Okay, sorry about that, guys.
All right, so, again, this communication is our required communication to management and the board at the conclusion of our audit. We will start on page 4, which is an overview of the audit and our responsibilities, as well as management's responsibilities. We were engaged to perform an audit of the 2020 financial statements of PE Partners. We did issue an unmodified opinion that included subjecting certain supplementary information and other information supplementing the financial statements to audit procedures. Again, an unmodified opinion on those financial statements and supplemental information. Management is responsible for the fair presentation and preparation of the financial statements, including the required supplementary information and other information, as well as maintaining internal controls within public entity partners over that information. And again, we did issue an unmodified opinion. Moving on to page 5. Qualitative assessments and corrected and uncorrected misstatements. The first item here is with respect to accounting practices or accounting policies. Those are described in detail in note 2 to the financial statements. There were no new significant accounting policies adopted in fiscal year 2020, and the policies for public entity partners were not changed in 2020 in comparison to the prior year. Regarding estimates, we are required to communicate any significant estimates that are used in preparation of the financial statements that are particularly sensitive, for example. The first one we note is depreciable lives of the premises, property, and equipment. The second is the actuarial assumptions related to the Tennessee Consolidated Retirement System Pension Plan. The third is estimates of reinsurance recoverable on paid losses. The next item is actuarial valuation of the reserve for the losses and the loss adjustment expenses. And finally, the valuation of the investments, specifically the municipal bonds and the U.S. government agency securities. Those are valued at the closing price reported on the active market on which those individual securities are traded. The money market funds, those are valued at the net asset value of shares held by PE partners at year end based on the quoted prices on the active market. And finally, public entity partners investment in the state of Tennessee local investment pool, that is actually measured at amortized cost. As we do each year, we do evaluate the key factors and assumptions that go into those estimates, and that we did determine they were reasonable to the financial statements. Moving on to page 6. I'm sorry, one more thing to note. The financial statements, there are no financial statements this year that are anything specific that is new to public entity partners or anything specific to call out to the board to note. And also I'd like to commend the accounting team because we had no material misstatements to communicate, and anything that was adjusted was trivial in nature. And so we are very pleased to report that there were no such misstatements. And the team did an amazing job. Amanda and Dawn did amazing, especially with this year of transition, and Charles and Amanda drafting financial statements. So she did very well. We appreciate all of her hard work. Moving on to interaction with management, independence, and other matters. We did not encounter any difficulties in performing the audit, nor did we have any disagreements with management. We are not aware of management having consulted with any other independent accountants. We did obtain the representations from management related to the audit. That includes the financial statements as well as information that was provided to us in the process of performing the audit. That representation was made to us on November 20th. We remained independent throughout the audit engagement from January 1st, 2019 through the date of our report of November 20th. And we had no other findings or issues to communicate. The next page is a continuation of the previous information required. This is specific to the information that accompanies the financial statements. This just highlights the required supplementary information. We did not audit the required supplementary information, and therefore we don't express an opinion on that. We were engaged, however, to report on the other information, and so that is included in our auditor's opinion, which is the unmodified opinion. Moving on to page 8, internal control related matters. We are required to report on internal control over financial reporting and on compliance and other matters based on our audit that's performed in accordance with government auditing standards. And we're happy to report there were no internal control related matters to report.
Or compliance.
Or compliance issues. And that concludes all of the information we are required to communicate to the board. If you have any questions related to that, as well as to the financial statements, which I know you all did receive ahead of time, we are more than happy to answer those.
Yeah, thank you for the reports. Are there any questions from Ms. Costello? Okay, if not, I'll entertain a motion to.
Do you have Mark to? No, I guess I was going to offer to talk through the financial statements, but knowing you've already had a presentation on the June financials and knowing there's no adjustments. I just wanted to offer the opportunity, but I'm not sure how much I can add to what Amanda's already given you.
Okay, need a motion to accept this audit report.
So moved.
Motion made by Todd Smith, second by Dr. Krista Martin. Any discussion? Roll call, vote, Ms. Abbott.
Commissioner Tharp,
Aye.
Todd Smith,
Yes.
Mayor Priest,
Yes.
Dr. Martin, Victor Lay,
Yes.
Mayor Holden,
Yes.
Vice Chair Brundage,
yes,
Chairman Hayes.
Yes. Okay. Motion passed. Mr. Blackburn, is there anything you wanted to add to or take away?
No, I just wanted to express our appreciation for our relationship with the public entity partners. And appreciate the work that's been done by your finance and accounting team to make this a very smooth and uneventful audit.
Yeah.
Well, especially I would say, given COVID and performing the audit, a lot of it was performed remotely.
Right.
So there were a lot of different factors that played into Amanda's first
COVID
year
and-
fully in charging
That's right.
the audit.
We had COVID and then we had a change of leadership here. And then
Absolutely,
we
yes.
had our accountant leader that's left as well. So, Mr. Ron, job well done you and your team. Good job. All right. All right, so we'll go down to the financial reports. Item number 4, we'll go with Mr. Fan and Ms. Scrum.
Yeah, I'll get it started and then turn it over to Amanda to give you the detail. You're going to get a
What tab is that?
that is under tab 4. Here we go. One of the things that is that I know you're all aware of is that we have undergone a 2-year process of at least 2 years. I think my numbers are right, Jim, in moving from one claims management system to another. And it's not only been quite an experience, it continues to be quite an experience. And so one of the things that we wanted to make sure that you are aware of is what you're going to receive today is a G&A, which is the first page that Amanda will walk through, a G&A budget to actual as of September 30. But one of the projects that has been considerable since we launched this program on September 1st and transferred all of our claims data from one system to another system. And obviously, writing checks for claims is our biggest expense. It's our biggest investment in what goes on with our cities. So that is going to be the extent of the financial report that is available today. We have identified all of the issues with our claims management system and are working to correct those. Those are imminent. So the final September 30 full financial reports that includes all of our claims data will be emailed within the next 2 to 3 weeks. And then in our February board meeting, you will get a report from our finance team on all of the September 30 financials as well as the December 31 financials. So I just wanted to cover that. I covered that. Chairman Hayes and I had gone into detail with that, but he wanted me to just spend a minute and talk about why we're still waiting on some final reconciliation with our claims checks from September 1 to September 30. So with that, and I guess one additional word, you're going to get the full investments report as of November 30 that Amanda will walk you through in just a second. And that has been a really good process in the current year since July 1. I would say, Amanda, if it's not every day that you or your team or me or we're talking with our advisor constantly, and she'll go into the detail of the successes that we've had since July 1. So with that, Amanda, I'll turn it over to you.
As Michael said, we are still working through, we are finding our issues, they're being worked through. We just didn't want to put numbers out there until we did our due diligence and making sure everything tied. So what we've got, we do want to present the G&A financials. Premium, investments, expenses, all that information is still going on without any hiccups. So as far as of 9/30, our combined gross premium is actually over budget by about $464,000 so far. That's up over 2.44% from our budget. Work comp, we're up $434,000 over what we budgeted. Liability is up $176,000, and then property is a little bit behind at $146,000 under budget. What we've got in front of you is the budget to actual by department for the expenses. So you can see we were kind of worried with some shifting among departments and stuff, but we are keeping pretty true to our budgeted numbers. We're actually we are under budget on our expenses by 464. So, and that's basically due to a lot of our travel, conferences, those type of expenses we're not seeing. And also we budgeted for an HR department for a full year, and then we brought Celeste on for in October. So we've got, some money there budgeted that wasn't used that first quarter. So if you have any questions on that, I know that's very limited compared to what you usually get at this time, but we will get those to you as soon as possible.
Yeah, and we will talk about a little bit later how we're going to get those out in the meeting and things. All right. Thank you. Any questions for Ms. Strong?
So on that, but we've still got the investment report. If
Yes,
you don't have any questions on the G&A. So we can move over to the investments. As we've said all year long, we're in a very kind of volatile market, so we're really watching our investments closely. As of November 30th, we feel we're actually in pretty good shape overall. We have a total of 110 securities with a book value of $268 million and a fair value of $273 million, leaving us with an unrealized gain of 4.8. Our average coupon rate on our portfolio is sitting at 3.35%, and our book yield is right around 3%, which is what we use as a benchmark. That's kind of where Harry likes to keep us in our portfolio. So we're hitting right around that mark. As of November, our AAA rated securities have diminished quite a bit. We've had a lot of these higher yielding government agencies that have been called this year, and we can't replace in those government agencies at the same yield. So we're having to look at more of the municipal. So we're looking at some AA rated bonds to get those yields and keep our yields up there. So as of the end of November, we've got about 9% of our portfolio is in agency bonds, and we've still got 27% roughly in AAA. As of November, we have actually realized $3.8 million in gains from July 1st. So Harry is he watches the market constantly and calls me constantly if he sees anything that fits within our investment portfolio where we can kind of gain an edge there. So just to give you from February, the 10-year market that we've kind of dropped 60 to 7 basis points, and our portfolio has only dropped around 24%. So we're still doing well, not as well as maybe we were doing, that last part of last year, but we are still trying to take advantage of those when we see the opportunity to do that.
Sure.
So if you have any questions? And you've got the investment report of our complete portfolio as of November in your book.
There's no questions for Ms. Strong. I'll entertain a motion approve the budget report and the investment report.
So moved.
Motion made by Todd Smith. Is there a second?
That was Victor.
Victor.
I'll second that.
Wrong city manager, sorry.
I think I'm asked.
Sorry about that, Victor Lay. Motion by Victor Lay. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Second by Todd Smith. I got that one right. All right. Any discussion? Roll call vote, Ms. Haley.
Commissioner Tharp,
Yes.
Todd Smith,
Yes.
Mayor Priest,
Yes.
Dr. Martin,
Yes.
Victor Lay,
Yes.
Mayor Holden,
Yes.
Vice Chair Brundage,
yes,
Chairman Hayes.
Yes. Victor, I've got my glasses on here, but I want to take them off so I can see you.
That's what it was.
Okay, item number 7 under other business. Mr. Russ, I'm gonna let you introduce your line.
Okay, Addison, Matt, Ross, would y'all stand up just a minute? As all of you know, who are on the board and are guests, we've been lobbying for public entity partners and its predecessor for, 12, 15 years now. And I thought it was time for the board to meet the people who have made us as successful as they have taking care of public entity partners. And I wanted to introduce my team to you that are work day and night during session. I couldn't ask for a better group of lobbyists. The one that's not here today is former Lieutenant Governor Ramsey. He was unable to be here today, but he was with Michael Monday in Chattanooga to meet with the chairman of Senate Finance, Senator Gardner, and Robin Smith in the House. And these meetings are turning out to be very productive, I think. Michael thinks we're going around trying to touch base with some key legislators and new ones where Michael can introduce himself and get to be known. But these people have been the backbone, along with Ron, of everything we've been able to accomplish and be successful for the public entity partners for all these years. And I think we discussed those reports at the end of the session, but I thought it was important that you meet them. I know you can't really see their faces, but I think it'd be safe to take off your mask just for a minute. This is Addison Russell right here. Addison has a background working for the Senate, State, and Local Government Committee and the Department of Commerce and Insurance as their legislative liaison. I recommended her for that job and then stole her away a year later. She's done a fantastic job for us on the Hill. Next to her is Matt Russell. Matt worked in Senate Transportation and worked in running some campaigns. He's very seasoned as a lobbyist, very astute, and again, works very hard for you. And last, y'all know Ross Smith from his role as assistant attorney for the board and for the public entity partners out here, but he also lobbies full-time during session for us. So I wanted you to meet our team and meet the people that make me look good, make Governor Ramsey look good, and thus far, knock on wood, have been able to protect the public entity partners. I'm sorry, I still say that. Protect public entity partners for anything that's been coming at us on the Hill, both in the executive branch and the legislative branch. So I just wanted you to meet them, and y'all just make them welcome, would you?
Yeah, absolutely. Let's give them a big hand. Russ, I just want to say, job well done on behalf of public entity partners. It seems like that each year there's always some bills that could affect PEP in a very negative way, and you've just been able just to flick them off just like that right there. So,
I wouldn't go that far, but you're welcome. Thank you.
Russ, I have one question for you.
Yes, sir.
What is your ranking then?
Well,
is your agency ranked?
What's your ranking?
In the Capitol, I think Tennessee Capitol report that came out, and again, I don't ever know when that's coming out, when it's not. It's not like Lee Smith's report that comes out every week, but at the end of last year, that report said that Ramsey Fair and Bates was #1. And also the last report that came out had Ron and I rated in the top 10 lobbyists. So again, that's somebody rating it that I don't know, but we have been very successful, I'm proud to say, to take care of public entity partners.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And if anybody's got any questions, I'll be glad to answer them. And these are the people that make me look good. They really, really, really work hard during the session.
Thank you, Russ.
Thanks, appreciate it.
Under other business, item number 2, it is my understanding we have an award to announce.
Yeah, I just wanted, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Wanted to acknowledge a couple of things as we talked during our strategic planning workshop and retreat. We're engaged at the national level with a number of national associations and organizations, and one of those is the Public Risk Management Association. And I have served in years past on that board of directors, and we've had a number of our staff members present sessions, webinars, and so forth, education. We provide some scholarships to attend conferences, continuing education programs called the PRIMA Institute. George and I actually did a virtual session at this year's PRIMA Institute. But anyway, I just wanted to talk a little bit about PRIMA and the fact that this past June, along with everything else that got canceled in June, National PRIMA was going to be located here in Nashville. And so we were obviously very excited about that, and then very disappointed, along with many other things that got postponed or canceled during the pandemic. But one thing I did want to acknowledge is the work that our entire staff does each year for our risk and insurance symposium that we typically conduct live every August. And so we submitted that symposium from 2019 to PRIMA, and I have to acknowledge not just the contribution of our entire leadership team to that symposium, but especially our facilitator and your secretary, Haley Gallick, facilitates that. But anyway, I just wanted to acknowledge Haley and really our entire leadership team. We received honorable mention for the Achievement Award for risk pools nationally for a product or program for our symposium last August. And so I wanted to acknowledge Haley and really our entire leadership team and the work they do. And just a couple of additional things that have happened in the 2019-2020 year. We are also engaged with the University of Tennessee's public policy graduate program, public policy. We teach classes. Both Haley and I have been acknowledged by the faculty up there with the fellow in professional practice, and I'm very, very pleased with that. And we just had a number of other awards. So I just wanted to bring the board up to speed on that, and especially acknowledge Haley and our leadership team for the work they did in 2019. So thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Job well done. Job well done. All right, so next, a little bittersweet moment, I guess, for all of us. As you know, Miss Margaret Meharry will be retiring at the end of this calendar year, and she has certainly been a part of the team now for many, many years. I probably not want to call her out and ask her how many years it's been, but for many, many years. And on behalf of Public Entity Partners, I want to thank you for doing a great job, Tennessee Municipal League Executive Director, and being, as we are a sister company, entity of Tennessee Municipal League, which is where we was created. I've not forgot that, nor hope no one else has either. And certainly have seen some good times under your leadership. So on behalf of Public Entity Partners, we have got Miss Margaret Meharry a gift certificate to her favorite furniture store in Athens, Tennessee, in the amount of $2,500. So, Margaret, congratulations. Let's give her a big. All right, the floor is yours.
You caught me off guard.
I enjoyed it.
I wasn't expecting that, but thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Yes, I have been involved with TML and with the risk management pool on public entity partners. A long time now, Sam. And we remember those days way back when. So I just want to say our cities are very fortunate to have this organization and to be able to get the insurance at the levels that they're getting at, because I recall, excuse me, when cities could not buy affordable insurance to cover things like their fire departments and their police departments and their public works departments, because it was just out of sight. And on top of that, being so expensive, some insurance companies wouldn't even talk to cities about insuring them. And now, you've morphed to where you are today, that those insurance companies now want our cities done. I know it's a competitive world that you're in now, but I just want to say that I have had a wonderful opportunity. Even before I became the lead director, I was on this board for several years, and have enjoyed my job. This next chapter in my life, I hope to be able to spend more time with my grandchildren who live in Massachusetts and Florida. I'm not a happy grandmother because of that. I hope I can see them more and get rid of this virus that keeps hanging on to the world. But I'm just wanting to chill a little bit. And now I'm going to have the challenge of trying to decide what kind of furniture I want. As you can well imagine, I've been here in Nashville for 18 years, and so yes, some of my furniture is rather old. So that would be a nice challenge for me to do that. So I want to just say thank you very much for having the opportunity to work with all of you. You've been great. I just want to say one thing, Mr. Chairman. I'm so grateful that it was not a gun.
So, our next meeting, is Friday, February the 14th, so 19th. Hold on. I got these new glasses now. 19th, got it. All right.
And Mr. Chairman, in our discussions, you asked me to go ahead and give tentative dates for the next three. So if you would jot down, again, these are tentative, obviously subject to everything that's going on in the world, but the after the February 19th, we have a June 11th tentative date for that fourth quarter meeting. The first quarter, actually is the same date as this year, September 17th. And then this time next year would be December 15th. And again, those, we may adjust those, but the chairman asked me if I'd go ahead and look at that for the whole year. So again, February 19th, June 11th, September 17th, and then December 15th.
Will there be a meeting at the TML annual conference?
Probably not. Because it being after July 1, we will need a meeting to approve our budget.
Right.
That goes into effect July 1. So the chairman and I discussed that. So we just need to go ahead and have a meeting, likely here in June.
All right. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you,
Michael. So before we adjourn, there is a couple of folks in this room, since we have had our last meeting, has turned maybe just a little bit older. And then we also have a person in this room that has got a birthday coming up on December 22nd and had one on October the 30th. John Holden, do you know anybody that has had their birthday on October the 30th? Dr. Martin, do you know anybody that had their birthday?
I just said, oh, God.
Join me. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear boy. Happy birthday to you. Now, John, you have to share the cake. You have to share it.
Thank y'all very much.
Thanks.
Okay, I have no other business.
Chairman, I'd
yes.
like to say one thing, please.
All right, please.
I wanted to acknowledge the fact that, and maybe I did it before, but I want to say it in this meeting because it's good to know that our history is still celebrated. So Michael, Fan, Ann,
Callie.
and see, I messed up the last time. Callie came down to Columbia, Tennessee to bring us the 40-year plaque for being in this organization as a city, and also a check. And that night, we asked Barrett Jones, who was a city manager at the city of Columbia some 40 years ago, to help start this organization in the state of Tennessee, to come. So he was there with us, with his sons and his grandchildren. So we just want to acknowledge the fact that you all took time out to recognize that and to come down as a part of our city council meeting. They really appreciate it, and we thank you so much for doing that. This is what this organization does, y'all. They get out of this office and come to where you are, and I appreciate that.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Can I say one thing?
Absolutely.
So I got elected mayor in 2006, and I wasn't really involved in TML or this or whatever. And Sam Tharp at the Parish Fish Fry caught me and cornered me along with Bob Kirk and encouraged me to get involved. And I am so glad I have over the years through TML and serving with all these good folks, and have the opportunity to kind of grow in this organization a little bit. And I've had a wonderful time with you. I really have. We're going to miss you. Absolutely. We appreciate your leadership and what you've done and what you mean to all the cities here. And this group here, I really appreciate it. First time I've been here, okay? I've always been on the screen watching, but I'm real, man.
You shaved your beard at the wrong time.
I did. But I think the retreat in October was just absolutely wonderful, and meeting all the staff and everybody that's involved with this organization, maybe some renewed energy and refreshed and real happy and positive about the direction that we're all going. So I just want to say that, and I appreciate it very much. Thank you for the cake.
Absolutely, Mayor. Absolutely.
Mayor,
Anyone else?
Yes, Mayor, I just want to say this. There's a lot of things that happen at the world's biggest fish fry. So if we have a fish fry, I'm going to invite everybody here to come because you need to be a part of it, because so many things happen.
Absolutely.
And I don't want nobody to be outcast.
Todd, you was telling me today you had great memories of where when you was a kid. Can you?
Dale Holloway.
Dale Holloway.
Yes.
All right. Thank you. Did you hear that, Sam?
Where is Dale Holloway? I want to go there.
We get you there. Any other board members have anything? Okay, if not, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So move.
Motion made by Sam Tharp, second by Mayor Priest. Any discussion?
I think that was Victor again.
I'm gonna put it back up. All in one motion, let it know, saying aye.
I'm sorry, I apologize before you do that completely. Some of you probably have met my successor, but some of you perhaps have not met my successor. And he's here today, Anthony Haynes. And so, Anthony and I have been working together for the last 3 weeks.
That's right.
Feels like 3 months, but anyway, so he is here today, and I know that you're going to enjoy working with him. Thank you so much.
All right. We're adjourned.
Thank y'all.
Y'all.